My name is Major Cyril Saltibus, and welcome to Celebrating 95, our epic cadetting journey. The St. Lucia Cadet Corps is a paramilitary youth organization sponsored by the government of St. Lucia through the Ministry of Education. Participating in both paramilitary and community activities, cadetting began in England in 1859 to repel a potential French invasion. It continued through World War II, with social workers like Miss Octavia Hill recognizing its value for boys' development. The movement was introduced to St. Lucia on July 13, 1929, with an establishment of a unit at St. Mary's College aimed at promoting discipline and character building. Initially focused on drill, route march, and national parades, the St. Lucia Cadet Corps has evolved significantly over the years and now operates through Act Number 23 of 2005 within 22 secondary schools on Ireland. We aim to develop qualities of good and outstanding citizens in our members, while at the same time encouraging a spirit of service to country and the local community through our motto of leadership, service, and discipline. Welcome once again to Celebrating 95, an insight into the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. Good evening, St. Louis. Good evening to all cadets and those of you all over. Welcome to the fourth episode of Celebrating 95, an epic journey in Lucia Cadet Corps. Before, let me just say good evening to our command, Colonel Nathan, and again, condolences to our Deputy Commandant, Lieutenant Lucius Lake, every member of family. Let me wish former Warrant to Stacy P. Happy birthday. Today is her birthday. So she's listening tonight. Exciting show for you. You know, we did 3 shows. We met the commandant, deputy commandant, a parent, and his daughter. And yeah, in the St. Lucia. This evening, go a little deeper into the history of the Lucia Cadet Corps as we celebrate 95th anniversary. Introduce my guest, Mr. John Ferrari. Good night to sir.
Good day. Good day to all cadets in St. Lucia and all over the world, because we have been there and will continue to be there.
And my other guest, Major Fitzleon.
See, on his night time. It's not. You would be your own self. Good viewers, I'm welcome. Happy to be here and share our experiences, our journey within this.
Good. Tonight I'm just to show a little bit. I want to first show you a little clip of photographs. We're gonna lock onto one of the graphs. So, and we just a little bit with one of our guests, Mr. Ferrari. Tonight, let me see that first. Those few photographs. Tell me a little about that photograph.
The graph is the group going to peak course potential cadets course in Barbados, 1987. I was the group. With me were Samuel, Dudley, Lucius Lake, Francis Reynolds, and St. Jules.
Fast forward 95 years, you know, about being a member of Cadet Corps, and it's done for you, you know, as you look back a little bit.
I am still about cadetting, and I would like to see cadetting continue. It needs me a little modern interjection. Apart from the drill, usual sucks, probably something like cadets been introduced to skills to make marketable school. So they can be to Renault and be taught how to operate hose, elevators, kind of equipment, so that learn some skills, and the skill sets within us can come here by the transfer passes of the cadets. As we know in this world, a job, they always want experience.
Yes.
Right? And that's way of getting it. So on the different camps the cadets have for the year, be given taught skill that they can have skills, and next to that, when they leave school for a job, that can be on it.
Good. So a while ago you said, and I'll come to our other guests now, but potential officers. Tell us a little bit of experience in Barbados until when an officer goes to Barbados for these potential costs there.
It was an honor. All our instructors taught, and standards is equivalent to West Point, right. The U.S. West Point, and everything is an instruction from PT, physical training, all your classes, because you are actually taught how to teach. So it was experience, and you learn how things should be run, and it really makes you in a well-run cadet and take you from 0 to 100 out of weeks. Thing is tight and to the point to go all weak areas to reinforce, get on the ball and make you officer. Good.
So we're gonna come back to you in a while. Hear from our Major here. Major, we're gonna go. I'm gonna way into this. I want to talk to you but active Major in St. Lucia, right? So your answer is now that we're selling 95. How you grow to the St. Lucia Cadet Corps and giving credit to it for you being who you are today.
Oh, I mean, it's been a marvelous journey. In the Corps, something as a student in St. College, my good friend, Mr. Ferrari, and we did a lot. The truth has made me, molded me in time. Moved from private rank of Major. Who knows where next? And it gives you the plan, gives you the strength, the courage, and was saying you how to teaches you your everyday life, how to manage for hours, and that sort of a thing. It teaches you how to dress. Many years you hear, you see, walk the street, knew they were cadet because of them dress, the attire, and that sort of. So it has mean to the person that I am, the serious, person that I am, and I everything give back to the social and return for what I have from it. So from a cadet family, I was very much involved. So I have artifact that the average officer would not have my being back there when in teas. I have a different perspective of the Corps, very much connected to some form of command and sort of a thing. So my life has been cadet, and for the last 17 to now, how many years?
Right. Both of you attend St. Mary's College. I actually just got a call Sir George a while ago. Right? He was telling me he's listening to a program and wanted to reflect a little bit.
George.
Sir Alex. And he had a wealth of information that and we're going to do that time before our anniversary. But tell me about college. You both actually part of, the history of the way cadetting start in St. Louis. We moved over to the second one after a while, or was it after Louis? I'm not too sure, or Mount Technical College at the time. But part of this, this St. Mary's College that cadetting, what like, and can you talk the experiences, some of the office and life at St. Mary's College?
Life at St. Mary's was great. Some of the awards that I received from St. Mary's College. When I graduated in 1984, after the year, I became commander of St. Mary's. I was the company major from St. College. Our former commander class grew under his hands in Mary's College. And the list goes on. College had most of the officers came from St. College. If we go back to like Trim, Sneer, the current count in Mary's College, we had the course still has of knowledge that came out of this college. I'm not sure how far the college probably is the only one left in
the shows prior before our celebration on July 13th. We will be bringing a lot of old photographs, a lot of old artifacts. I'm still looking for my old my little the little bugle. I don't know where it is. It's messed up a lot, but I'm trying to find it. I've got an old sword there I would like to bring on set and make sure we tell the stories of
Do you remember the days of white gaiters?
Of course.
Independence 1979 when the war for white gaiters.
Yeah, the present cadets would not know anything about it, but yeah.
Sergeants wearing puttees.
Right. But see, I'm back to you a little bit. You are the stores officer, and there's a little history there also. You spent a long time as stores officer of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. You even got into trouble I got into trouble with you once.
Yeah, I went up in rank and then I became the procurement officer.
Yes.
Under Patrick Edwards. He was the stores officer, and then he went up to adjutant and I became the quartermaster, which is the stores officer. And the two of us, we were on a mission to standardize uniforms within the cadet corps. So we were looking all over. We got together and then we got a manufacturer in Trinidad for the training uniforms and in Barbados for the ceremonial. And then we got that issue settled and everybody was wearing standardized uniforms. It was a task, and there was a lot of butting of heads. I used to clash regularly with Inch St. Hill. He was finance officer, and finance was a bit, well, it's always tight. So to procure stuff for the cadets, he always had his priorities, and I had mine, because my priorities was to see boots on the ground, have the cadets wearing boots and uniform, and St. Hill had slightly different priorities. Like you said, probably we clashed over some uniforms, and
of course we clashed, because I wanted uniforms, I wanted boots on the ground in a souffle parade,
and a raid on the storeroom.
Yes, and you locked me out, and I had no choice but to break open the storeroom and get the uniforms. But I was cleared of those charges, which was nice, because the parade went on, and that was
yeah. But it was a matter of requisitions coming on time.
You did things by the book, and you expected us to follow, which is good. This is what we're trying to instill in the young boys and girls right now, because the Cadet Corps is about all the young boys and girls. Listeners, if you have the link, share it to all your friends, because we want to promote the St. Lucia Cadet Corps and the good work that it's doing for young boys and girls. Mr. Technician, if you can just play the other little video with a few other photographs of my next guest, so we can talk about it a little bit. Now there's a photograph of the major and some kids. If you can just put it up, I want to ask him about it. There was a photograph in there with you, this one right there, and a few cadets. I see some of them wearing medals. What's happening there? Where were you all? What was this big event?
That is in Port Antonio, Jamaica, 2014. I led the contingent of the St. Lucia team to the Caribbean Cadet Camp in 2014. The medals they are wearing our second place medals on the PG Patterson shoot. Jamaica beat us by I think some 2 or 3 points for that shoot. But that was right outside after the closing parade in July of 2014.
Good. And there was another photograph, you know, that slipped by with you and a couple of other cadet officers at the back of a boat, and there was something going on there, some conversation where you were laughing. I want to know what was happening in that, and what were you doing on the boat?
Okay, at the time I was the battalion commander for Battalion 1, and we had become very, very, very active. We had actually won Battalion of the Year on 2 different years, and that was one of our signature operations. We had gotten very, very close to the Marine unit in St. Lucia. I think that photograph, we were on our way to View Fort. We had an exercise up at Mulashik, and the Coast Guard was taking the battalion down to View Fort for us to carry out that particular activity.
And you still don't want to tell me what's happening there with that kind of.
We were just having a nice
on the
time.
side saying no, I don't agree. I can see Chris talking about something else.
At the time, I think the Coast Guard had just
and then we went through, the rigors of training, harsh. And now, I mean, as an observer from the outside, you can see what's going on. How do you differentiate the two? Do you believe the cadets right now are, pushed to their limit where forge them into good men and women, or,
Yeah. Well, in our time, in the 80s, the cadet corps operated literally like an army.
Like an army, yes.
Yeah. But I always said, even though we are paramilitary, we are military.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like half a whole.
Yes.
We are military. We do military training. But with time, the cadet corps has to evolve, because what we went through, I don't think it will be appropriate for the cadets to go through that intensity of training. I remember times we were brought down Kasaba with 60-man tents. We had to carry it all the way.
Yep.
And then we're given 1 cup of fresh water per day, and sleeping with centipedes and that. I remember first camp was at Rodney Bay, Ridgeway area there, where there were no houses. It was not developed yet, and camp was whereby I and then when I opened my eyes, I saw Sergeant Flosak in front of me, and he said, "Ferrari, you were sleeping." I said, "No, Sergeant, how can somebody sleep standing up?" and he told me, "But Ferrari, I just finished slap you 3 times." I said, "Sorry, Sarge." That's how rough it was, Okay. You were so tired that you rest on a tree and you just fell asleep.
Yeah, let me stop you for a minute. There's a photograph. There's a photograph there right now. Where is that, and what is going on in that photograph?
Yeah, that's Castries Comprehensive School, which is a favorite camping ground. We were getting ready for some ceremony. And
Closing parade, maybe?
Could be. And I remember that outfit, and I usually wore that outfit when I was driving the Cadet Land Rover.
That green Land Rover of ours.
SLG 188.
Yes.
Yeah, and we can see Lawrence James there.
Desist, yes.
Yeah. Theodora and Duncan. And Lake.
Right.
Lake directly behind me. And one thing Lawrence James taught me, I remember he used to be our PR person, always had his camera.
Yes.
Right? And at the time he took a photo of cadets on parade, and some cadets were out of timing. So I told him, "But how could you put that in the newspaper? Why not wait when everybody?" He said, "No, photos don't lie." I said, "Okay." I said, that's a lesson. That's a lesson to be learned. Yeah. Always be in good timing.
There's another photo there right now. You all are relaxed. I think you all are either coming from a mock exercise, or some heavy training, and you all are just, resting there. I can see Lake there. I can see yourself on the left.
Yeah, that looks like it could have been one of those across the island walk from Soufrière to Micoud. Okay. I've never done the Micoud to Soufrière, but always the Soufrière to Micoud. And I remember one day we climbed the pitons and crossed the rainforest same day. In fact, we literally slept in the middle of the rainforest. I never knew St. Lucia could make so cold. It was real cold inside that rainforest, and noisy at night.
Okay.
The nocturnal creatures are quite noisy.
Let me hear from Major. I realized you were laughing a little bit when you was talking about that first camp and our experience at Kazoba. A little more about that. You can exaggerate a little bit about those times, comparing it with today, and how the cadets actually are today.
I'm sure Sion can attest to that. We never knew consent forms.
Right. True.
We never knew anything about consent forms.
Mommy, I'm off to come.
Right.
Yeah.
We would get a call from the office. This is Mr. Michael Mondesi, our principal at the time. and would tell us that we need to report to fire headquarters at 1800 hours. So you leave school, you run home, you get dressed, and you run down to the fire service. The fire service used to be there at the time.
Port Police
Station. Port Police Station, yes. And we would all head to this Rodney Bay area, and where Rodney Bay is now is what used to be our grounds. We're Indies, what is Pope City, right? Those days we had Capesh, what you call Capesh in those areas. The camp Sion is talking about, he forgot to mention the storm. We had a storm one night, and the wind was threatening to take down the tents. And our then FSM Romeo Michel would wake everybody up and say, hold the middle pole.
Center pole. Grab the center pole.
And then the
anchors for the tent.
And then the space would get flooded. And the mats would get wet, and everybody is up with a bag or a rucksack on your back, holding down the center pole, holding down all sorts of poles to keep us going. And we eventually had to relocate that camp to the Grizzly, what is now the Grizzly Primary School. Right? And we had people like Bailey, Henry Bailey,
yes,
and deceased John Vinson. And it would be a joy on an afternoon when Billy used to be our messing officer, and when the rice got burnt, John Vincent would have Billy playing netball with himself.
Yeah, I remember Romeo telling Henry Bailey, "Look at you, you burnt the water."
I mean, since you were talking about you're bringing up a lot of jokes, I mentioned at the planning one of our planning committees, and I just want some ideas about it. Maybe we can. I know the commandant is listening; he can give birth to it while we discuss it. There's a lot of stories. There's some rich stories. I mean, I spoke to Eddie Hazel today for a little bit. You get those cadets who just have those stories, and I was suggesting to the chairperson of the 95th anniversary, because that's what we're here talking about today, that we should have some campfires, some gatherings where we invite people like John Quinlan.
Yes,
with the boy Charles, find them. Let Romeo come down. Let Mr. Glass come from Antigua, and we sit around a campfire and tell stories, record those stories, and so the kids today can actually listen to what happened to us in the past. How exciting cadet was. I mean, our parents knew us from Monday to Friday. On weekends, the cadet corps knew us. You understand?
I mean, there was a camp for, I don't know if you remember, in Corinth. We had a camp in Corinth for summer camp, and some of us were so miserable.
The white
Sion, myself, a number of us, and we used to call us the white t-shirt squad. And our discipline was we had to skin the green fig to cook, and the t-shirts were not supposed to get dirty. And Curtis Glass at the time, commandant of the corps, fell in the entire parade. And our good old RSM at the time, Christopher Mackey, reported to Curtis Glass with a 303 rifle at slope arms, and he saluted.
Somebody needed to reenact that, so the young cadets can know what we're talking about. To have a rifle and salute it.
My God, and Curtis Glass made a mess with Mackey that day. And who paid for it? The white t-shirt squad, because we stayed up all night crawling through the waters of the Grand Riviere. If you're driving up the road when you leave the roundabout by Mega J, as you approach the JQ Estate there, we used to go in through those coconut trees on the right hand side driving up and come out in Grand Riviere. I mean, we had some crazy times. Those cadets nowadays don't go for that kind of activity.
Well, a lot of stories some will never discuss on air. Never discuss on air at all. But Major, you now in Dominica, and you're involved heavily in cadetting in Dominica also. What is this transition like? Are you planning to move over? Are you planning to go, back and forth? Because you're an asset, and I know you live over there, so you're a cadet there, and you're always back here performing. What is cadetting like in Dominica compared to St. Lucia, and do they lend to each other's efforts?
Well, I was seconded to when I moved to Dominica, when my job took me to Dominica, I was seconded to the Dominica Cadet Corps. I am currently the Deputy Commandant / Adjutant of the Dominica Cadet Corps. And they are, in terms of age, they are older than us, because next year, 2000, we will be celebrating 115 years of existence in Dominica. Actually, we're hosting the Caribbean Cadet Camp next year, so in the midst of putting all of this together. Cadetting in Dominica, the experiences that Sion and myself can share here with you, they do have that kind of experience in Dominica. Okay. It's a more timid, more watered down kind of a thing. We do the basic drills, you still do all the military training and that sort of a thing. But the kind of hardcore stuff we used to do, and I think it was a result of the officers that we had at the time.
They don't have the bruises that some of us have.
The Romeo Mitchells, the Lambert Mackey, Alvin Jameses, and those guys. Dominica does not have that kind of thing. I'm trying to bring some of it into Dominica, but with the governmental rules, Ministry of Education controlling everything, it's Dominica is actually a school program, from 1 to 5, and when you get out of Form 5, if you had performed credibly enough and you want to come back, then you reapply to come into the organization as an officer, as a senior person. And the government in Dominica is heavily involved. The president of Dominica is the patron of the Dominica Cadet Corps, and she now is getting really involved to revive everything. Again, like I say, it is not the hardcore stuff that we used to do, or we are used to, or I am used to, so to speak. But it's still cadetting. You still do the drills. We still follow the APC manuals and the various star levels and that sort of a thing.
Our book of scars is just a little bigger.
Yes.
While I want you all to think of messages, because again we are here celebrating 95, and the idea is to sell this cadet corps to the young boys and girls of St. Lucia, you know, that our organization that we are part of and what made us men today is a good organization to be part of. While we think of little stories to tell them and advice for them, I would like the technician to play a video with students just saying how they appreciate and love the Cadet Corps.
My name is Lance Corporal Sami O. I'm from Battalion 1 Delta Company. Cadets has impacted my life because before I was in cadets, I used to litter a lot along the streets and the roads. But now, as I have joined cadets, I've learned that how much the garbage can impact our lives and also the creatures along the world.
I am Lance Corporal De La Cruz D. I am from Battalion 1 Delta Company. Cadets has impacted my life by making me more respectful.
My name is Private Joseph Rejon. I come from the Delta Company. Cadet has taught me discipline and taught me how to respect my elders.
My name is Lance Corporal Howard G. I am from Battalion 1 Delta Company. Cadets has impacted my life greatly, from my leadership skills, the way I act, my discipline, the way I carry myself, and the manner in which I speak to people. Not just that, but my physical activity as well. My physical health has not ever been better. Only it comes so because of cadets and the discipline in which they have taught me.
Good afternoon, I'm Recruit Ernest T, and I attend the Enchipo Secondary School. The reason why I joined cadet was to join the military.
I am Private Recruit J. I attend the Enchipo Secondary School and I joined cadet to form my mother.
My name is Private Felix T. I attend the Enchipo Secondary School. The reason I joined the cadet corps is because I want to join the army.
My name is Lance Corporal Thomas N. I attend the Enchipo Secondary School and I joined cadets because it's very enjoyable and
I am Lance Corporal Cherokee. I attend the ESS Secondary School, and the reason why I joined cadets because it's a very fun organization, and also I just love to drill.
I am Lance Corporal Kubansi.
I attend the Saltibus Secondary School and I joined the Senior Cadet Corps for more discipline and around to join the army. Super Francis K. I attend ESS Secondary School and I joined the Cadet Corps because I needed more discipline.
I am Lance Corporal Stevens Jaden. I attend the NG Post Secondary School. I joined cadets because of fun.
I see a lot of defaulters there. I see some colors, not done properly. I mean, just a lot of stuff. And I'm just comparing that. I know I want you all to just speak to them, speak to those students, speak to the kids out there, those of them who've not made a decision to join the Cadet Corps. My personal view is every student that enters a secondary school should be part of an organization like the Cadet Corps. It doesn't specifically be cadets, but you should go into some
uniform group.
Some uniform group to groom you for the future. But I don't want to hit them too much. Very nice presentation. But back in the day, your collar sticking up, you'd have to do a couple of rounds or a couple of push-ups for that. But start with you, Sion. Just your views on cadetting today and what we can do, how to encourage the cadets to come on board and to join. I know, just before you speak, that the government is doing a lot right now. They've given us this nice building, a huge piece of land, and in the next year or two we should see the grand opening of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps headquarters, right, in this Ectel building that we're given, and His Excellency the Governor General is playing a very huge role, in making sure that the Cadet Corps is and its officers, are sticking to what we have to do. So let me hear from you a little bit about what more can we do to encourage kids out there.
Well, what needs to be done is to have more visibility. That's the best way to promote the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. Every probably national activity, say if there is a fun walk, cadets should participate in that, in the uniform, whether it be PT wear or whatever, and move as a unit, as a platoon. And that would encourage, because when other children see what's going on, they will want to be part of it. Because I remember being so proud to put on my uniform and walk down the street, going to training on a Saturday, on a Wednesday coming from school, right? And as we did before, we looked after each other. So when you dress, another cadet met you, you made sure everything was right, everything was fitting properly. So the best thing is visibility. Get the cadets out there, and part of that visibility is having finance. So we need to get finance to that, because headquarters is good, but it takes more than just headquarters for the corps to be visible.
Yeah.
Right. And the cadets perform. They literally the workforce for NEMO. When there's a disaster, the cadets report and they perform. So the finance part should be there, and the cadets should have assets, because the cadets are literally first responders.
Yeah.
But they're first responders with no assets. Yeah. So it needs to be better than that. And part of the visibility is to get all the former cadets to try and come together, so that we could encourage more people to be part of the organization.
I don't know if Vern Nelson and Romeo would like me to, get the cat out of the basket right now, but I know they're working on something like that.
Yeah.
They're working on a alumni or past cadets association to assist the cadet corps. In your days, before I go to the major here, right now there's a very good thing happening. You have the parent support group, and they're always on camp, or they always. Can you see your parents on camp during your time?
No. Parents would drop the child by the
gate, really?
By the gate or wherever they were permitted to reach. And I remember the camp at Raidry, where this guy, Paul, he ended up at the back of the last man on the chow line. And what he received in his plate, he considered it was not enough. So he packed his bag and he left, only to see him return with his parent next day. She said, I remember that distinctly, you know. She said, I pay for this cab when you're coming home.
Going back.
Come back.
Yes. And you're correct. I mean, I really, as I told the parent last show, I love this. I think the cadet needs all the support right now. But my mother never knew, you know, it's just you go in, yes,
Yeah.
you know, and they make sure you have a little biscuit or something like that. Yes. You know, your parents had nothing to do with it. Now it's a good thing because we need the support, and that is really good. But before I go to my major, why slow? There's that nickname Slow. Let's talk about that.
No, that nickname came from St. Mary's College, where everybody had to have a nickname. That was actually given to me by John Daniel, who we call Crazy. it was some football we were playing after school, and on the college field. And I had my school shoe, and the field was muddy, and there was a 50-50 ball, which two of us had to run to, and the other person was Mallory Gibson, and I was closer to the ball, but I took my time running to avoid falling in the mud, and we got to the ball together. We tussled, and Mallory won the ball, and there goes John Daniel Crazy saying, "Boy, see on you running in slow motion." And that's how the name that. But I love the name because I'm the only slow Ferrari.
No, I mean, it stuck with you and it's very nice. I mean, it's a nice nickname. We all call you Slow, you know, from way back when.
Yeah.
Major, back to you. To cadets, you know, what message you want to send out to them, you know, in joining our wonderful organization, you know, because it made us who we are today.
Johnny. One of the things I loved about cadetting at St. Mary's College in particular, and I think it's something that can be reenacted. On a Wednesday when we had training at this college, we didn't go to school in school uniform. We were in cadet uniform for the whole day. We went to all our classes, and you know, it was an example that other cadets followed because they admired the way we were dressed, because you were properly attired, shirt and pants, no bulges from your shirt, your belt well tucked in, and that sort of a thing. Who had rank spotted the rank, and that sort of a thing. And I thought that was a way of bringing in people because they love the idea of the uniform at school. You know, I think that we can bring back. But to any young man, young woman out there right now, especially in the situation that we have with all the crime and everything else, I think the cadetting gives you an opportunity to be a respectable, honest young person. Gives you that military background, gives you that training that you are exemplary. If we just look around and see the amount of persons in society that were members of the Cadet Corps, and they tell you who they've become is as a result of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. And that goes, I mean, I'm involved with quite a few of the corps around the Caribbean. You get the same stories.
So it's just join.
Just join, and you will reap the benefits.
Yeah. Let me just ask the technician to put the number online, because you can call in. I mean, parents, cadets, do call in. And we have a question for you, and there's this wonderful mug that you can win if you answer it. And it's only for cadets. I want cadets to call in. I want cadets, you know, who are listening to call in. And the question, I think I asked you all a question, none of you all give me one, so I'm going to develop my own. In what year did Colonel Nathan Hyacinth become the commandant of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps? Not when he was acting, when he was appointed. So make sure we get that right. And, you know, I will, but wait, I'm asking the question. I hope we can answer that question, right?
Yes,
right. Good. So, okay, Bingo will be our judge advocate there for the answers. While we have the number online and we're waiting for callers, we have a congratulatory message from one of our ex-cadets. If we can play that right now.
Hi, St. Lucia Cadet Corps. This is Ermin Gray. Happy anniversary. It's good to know that we have reached this milestone, and we are continuing to move forward in a positive direction. Being a part of or a member of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps has been a privilege for me. It has brought me through many crises in my life, the discipline, the togetherness, the teamwork, the volunteerism, everything you can think of as a young individual growing up within your community and being led by wonderful individuals who are able to instill those activities within you to grow up to be a better person. Once again, thank you, St. Lucia Cadet Corps. Thank you for being a part of my life. I joined when I was 12 years, and it has been one of the most wonderful experiences that I've ever had. Happy anniversary.
That was Ermine Gray from View Fort. And we have those messages coming from time to time. The lines are open for cadets who want to just call and contribute or answer the question, and this beautiful mug will be yours. Gentlemen, let's go a little deeper. Let's bring some names up a little bit, because there's a lot of names that people keep, forgetting. A while ago, okay, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine.
Captain Elise here.
Captain Elise, our public relations officer. Good night to you, sir.
Good night. Just to make a comment on the photos where you have my good friend see on slow Ferrari. The first photo at Comprehensive, that's the very first enrollment ceremony that Charlie Company held.
Okay, good.
And the other one where we were all seated outside in the fatigues.
Mm-hmm.
This was, for I remember this camp very well, this is the disclosed camp. It was actually the same camp he was talking about where we had the walk, we did the Peter climb, and we crossed the forest at the same time.
Were you senior to him back in the day?
Yes.
He realized you can charge him for actually trying to correct you on those photographs. He realized that? See, you're taking a big risk there, my brother.
Don't worry, I know where to report.
Good. But since we have you on the line, and you're the public relations officer, what is anything you have to talk to us about as we celebrate our 95th anniversary?
Well, we just want to encourage especially our very good friends, ex-cadets, to participate in our 95th anniversary dinner.
Good.
We have information being circulated. As of this weekend, we'll be putting the price and everything. And anybody who's interested will be more than willing to sell you one of the tickets. It costs $150, and all the information we passed on this weekend.
Thank you very much for that.
All right.
And keep up the good work, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Good,
you
thanks.
All
right, so as we continue, we want to keep don't forget you have a wonderful mug if you answer that question, cadets. And I can't ask you for your regimental number, but I want to ask you what unit you're from and who's your unit commander before you answer the question. So we were some names like for instance, young cadets do not know who Mr. Lambert is. We don't know who John Quinlan. We don't know who Willibald Charles. When we talk about Curtis Glass, we talk about Roger Eudoxie, we talk about Vincent. But somehow I think we need to actually, one of y'all need to start writing a book. Let's put together some information so the young cadets know those names and you can resonate with them that those men and women were actually, and I say women, and something we need to discuss is that I realize the women are actually taking over the cadet corps right now in numbers. Back in the days, just a lot of, us guys. But right now, I think there's a shift, close to 60, crawling into 70% of females, as part of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. So,
well, maybe that could be part of the MK military knowledge to expose cadets to the former cadets along the way, because I mean, probably in my time or just after my time, everybody knew the name Ferrari, but I mean now.
Okay, we have a call. Go ahead, caller. Good evening, caller. Go ahead.
Good evening, fellow cadet leaders.
Good evening.
One thing I'm interested in is to be in this dinner, and somewhere along the line, in your conversation, the stories of past cadets, if that can be organized, recorded, and kept for longevity, I think that would be good, because there's so many stories. Because I can now remember when I went to my first overseas camp in Dominica, there was quite a lot of stories in there. And to bring back try and get the old cadets so that we can keep the stories. And I think it is going to be something very good for cadets, for us to get the past stories of cadets. I want to again now wish us all the best for in our anniversary, and let me just put a pic there. Parents, try and encourage your kids to get into the cadet corps. It made quite a lot of us, men and women, and especially with the discipline. Have a blessed night. Come on.
Thank you very much. And the caller is right, because look at how Sir Calix George just called this evening and says, hey, I have a lot of information. Come see me. You know, soon, sometime next week, I'm planning to have make an appointment with Dr. Anthony, past Prime Minister, and I mean, he was one of those cadets in charge of the 54th Comprehensive School. Okay, and there's a lot more. I mean, now I'm hearing that our present Prime Minister may have had a little stint in the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. You know, the Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Court, Mario Michel. All those people. I mean, those are examples of men and women who actually went through the Cadet Corps. And even, I mean, look at Dr. Samuel. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if we go to celebrate 95 years, I mean, there are a lot of cadets out there, former cadets. So we need to bring everybody in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are two names that come to mind, to former commandants. I mentioned it to Major Saltibus some time ago. But okay, Roger Doxy has gone. But how many of us can go past Roger?
Just let me hold that thought there. We have a call. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
Good evening. Go ahead, caller.
Hi. Good night. How you doing?
Good.
Captain S.L. James, sir.
Yes, Captain.
The stories are great. There are a number of stories to be told. We just have to synchronize with the older folks, like Mr. Ferrari said, that we have to get them to give us record their stories, you know. It's just like the old days. I mean, those people would feel comfortable talking about the old days and bring back the memories of the old days to those young cadets. So the cadets would understand what cadetting was like in those days, you know. And I'm sure they would have loved to have that experience as well of what used to occur in the past days. What we have now is a watered down kind of thing. Because, I mean, imagine now in our cadet corps, we can't even have a mock battle. which one was our favorite? We can't even have a mock battle nowadays. If we were to have a mock battle, let me tell you something. You know, Valmo wouldn't have enough suits for everybody. Understand? So there are stories to be told. So we need to get those stories out, let the young people know. Listen to that, and like Mr. Saltibus, have a little campfire, you know, a little get together and have something, you know, to energize the cadets again, because it's getting to a situation where I will honestly say it's getting to like a Boy Scout Girl Guide situation.
Let's not go there. No. Let's not go there.
Not going there. But I'm saying to you, sometime in the near future, it will come to that.
Yeah.
You understand? Because right our motto is leadership, service, and discipline. How can we get a discipline and like that again, you know? We have to go to the watered down kind of discipline now.
Yeah, I don't really want to call it watered down. Even the military a long time ago, I mean, the way people fought wars with with a bayonet and stuff like that, it's not done anymore because I mean, there's a more conventional way of doing things. Drones. Yeah, so we've changed, and I agree with you. Maybe we need to have some mock exercises, and somehow in the future we may have some simulated mock exercises.
We need to have them experience what it was like with us, But I remember when I joined Loco, I usually enjoyed this one. I took a lot of blows, and in those days, I said, you ever tell a mother anything about that, because your mother will beat you again. Or you say you're running home, you want to run away from company going back home, your mother will send you back.
Thanks for that insight.
Yes, so it's a healthy thing to have those stories be told, and that the cadets can really look forward to say, okay, well, it's boring now. I want to feel what it was like before. Blah blah blah. I want to feel it, So
don't worry. The commandant and his executives listening. I think they will insert some of that. Don't worry.
They're listening, sir. But I'm just giving you the opinion as it is my opinion, that we should really try and bring back some of the old stuff. You understand? Into the core, into the basic. But remember at one time, Mr. Major Solomon, I remember at my first summer camp was at Comfrey, where I was the first person on the line for food, and then I was the last person to eat.
Well, yeah, because you can't.
when you go until the last person they come during mess hall, you're eating. So even if you're first on the line, until the last person they come in their meal, you can't manger.
Right.
And those were exciting times. So remember, they used to have us take off our belts. Before you eat, you have to unbuckle the belt. You can't eat.
Okay.
And the belt unbuckle.
Right, okay.
We have gone away from all of that.
Agreed. We'll do a lot of that. We're almost out of time for our show. Actually, we've passed our time thus far.
But I will send you some photos for the next show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate it. Texan, do we have any photos? Do we have any videos left? We have one video left or call. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Corporal Marcel M, and I like cadets because it helped me gain leadership skills and helped me experience new adventures. I am Corporal Bissett, and I like cadets because there are lots of new activities to experience. My name is Lance Corporal Mendez, and I like cadets because it boosts my self-confidence and it's a great way of expressing myself.
I am Lance Corporal Louise Faith, and I like cadets because it's fun.
I like cadets because I enjoy the activities.
I like cadets because it taught me basic leadership skills and it helped me with my overall confidence.
I'm Lance Corporal Philbert Reserve, and I like cadets because it taught me to enunciate and be confident with my words.
I like cadets because it taught me to be confident and speak out more. It also taught me responsibility.
My name is Lance Corporal Antoine, and I like cadets because I like camping.
I am Private Alphonse, and I enjoy cadets because the adventures are fun.
I like cadets because it taught me basic geography. What I like about cadets is it taught me to respect others.
I am Private Alfred, and I like cadets because it taught me discipline.
Good stuff. We all love cadets. We're almost out of time. We're going to wrap up. One of those shows, I think, where I don't know if even St. Lucia, the cadets have recognized since the appointment of Dame Paulette Louise as Governor General, that cadet officers were actually became the ADCs at Government House. And I think we have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of our cadet officers who have gone through, their tour of duty as ADCs, and one of those shows we need to actually promote them a little bit and to tell those stories. Gentlemen, we're out of time tonight. I want to ask each of you to, to send a nice message as we celebrate our 95th, and to the young boys and girls that, hey, this is the organization to be part of. Starting with you, Mr. Ferrari.
What I would say is that the Cadet Corps is a great organization, and we must remember that the organization is there mainly for the benefit of the children. The officers are there to instill discipline and pass on knowledge, and I encourage all parents to support their children in their endeavors and the powers that be to provide the funding so all this can happen.
Good. Thank you very much. Don't forget to say
Viewing the program tonight, but I want the opportunity to say thank you to inviting me on the program tonight, to you, Major Saltibus. I would honestly like to see the school principals, school teachers get back involved. Some of us, we have our own lives and we work and stuff. In the past, we always had a teacher that was like a liaison officer. For the Corps. I'd like to see the day when it's mandatory that every school has a liaison officer attached to the St. Lucia Cadet Corps to ensure things are happening properly. An officer may not always be there on a Wednesday, so that liaison officer can pick up the slack. So I'm just hoping somewhere the powers that be, as much as they provide the necessary financing for the equipment, but we need to look at the little nitty-gritties that would make things work. And like I say, appointing designated liaison officers to each school as a teacher, a person on staff that could do the running, the little things to make life a little easier for the organization.
Good. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Sian Ferrari, thank you. Major Fitzroy, thank you very much. Let me just thank the management and staff of NBC for allowing us the extra time. Commandant Colonel Hyacinth, thank you for allowing us to do this show on your watch as we celebrate the 95th anniversary of our existence in St. Lucia. See you next week where who knows, another surprise guest, another visiting officer, another ex-officer, or some principals or teachers as the Major recommended. See you next week as we celebrate 95 years of existence, delving into the history of the St. Lucia Cadet Corps. Thanks again and good night.
Well, it's quite a scorcher today, but that hasn't stopped our distance runners from coming out and giving off their very best.
Zephyr is leading the pack. He passed the first water stop. Let's see what happens here.
Wow, he wants none of that. He's passed it straight again.
He needs to rehydrate at some point on this blistering hot day.
And now Zephyr is approaching the third water stop. He has quite a lead.
Well, he's actually stopping.
Well, that's because Zephyrus probably knows that Forest Springs is all natural mineral water. And unlike other purified bottled waters, which have a more acidic pH, it's actually more alkaline and therefore better for our bodies. Did you know that?
I was unaware.
Well, now we're off again. That was a pause for a cause. Zephyrus looking in great shape to win this one.
Forest Springs. Taste the difference.
Looking for a professional service to stream your upcoming events to your social media platforms seamlessly and simultaneously?